Cardano is entering a new era where it is officially solidifying itself as the most decentralized blockchain in the cryptocurrency industry today. It has been for a while, but with the Chang Hardfork and the burning of the Genesis keys, everyone who had a reason to claim Cardano was not decentralized or was centralized because of this is now kind of losing that as an excuse. Cardano has taken that feedback, destroyed the one thing in its path, and has become the most decentralized blockchain, leading the pillars that Cardano stands on, decentralization and security, as priorities over scalability. Now, 2025, I hope we really get some scalable things happening on Cardano with input endorsers and really cranking speed up. We're doing it with Hydra, we're doing it with pipelining that happened like last year, but I will think that is something that needs to happen soon. But today's topic is, what has Cardano been doing to be the most decentralized blockchain for the past 2 cycles, and how has the Chang Hardfork really solidified that to where decentralization of Cardano is no longer a conversation that we have to have? Over the past 2 cycles, Cardano has been the most decentralized blockchain, or one of the top decentralized blockchains, because of how the stake pool and the delegation ecosystem works. Now, last cycle, say in 2021, for example, Cardano still had the 7 Genesis keys controlled by Emergo, IOG, Cardano Foundation, and what those entities were doing is when we had a hard fork or when we had a parameter change, they start the process with the Genesis keys of Cardano. These keys were around because we needed someone to initially develop the blockchain and build it how it was. But as they pushed a hard fork, like in 2021 when they pushed the Alonzo hard fork for smart contracts on Cardano, the 7 Genesis keys, the 3 founding entities, pushed that hard fork forward with the Genesis keys. They initiated the hard fork. They initiated the parameter changes. Then, the reason why Cardano was one of the most decentralized blockchains back in 2021, even with the Genesis keys, the reason why the stake pool operators are around is because the stake pool operators can then accept or deny the hard fork that the Genesis keys have pushed forward. Okay, this also trickles down to you and me. We vote to stake pool operators that we believe in, or that give us certain returns, or that do certain missions. And so when we have Genesis key companies initiating hard forks, stake pool operators then still have to accept the hard fork, accept the new version of the Cardano blockchain with like 70 or 70% majority. Us as retail investors of Cardano also have a say by choosing who we delegate to. So if there was a majority of Cardano nodes, Cardano stake pool operators who did not believe in the hard fork, and the majority of people were delegating their ADA to those nodes, then the hard fork would not go through no matter what the Genesis keys did. This is a key factor of why Cardano was the most decentralized and has maintained one of the most decentralized blockchains over the past couple of years. There have been a lot of controversies on Twitter, for example, crypto Twitter, of people claiming that Cardano is highly centralized. But with the recent Genesis key burning and with the recent Chang hard fork that happened last week, or just a couple days ago actually, those arguments have been buried in the dust forever. The reason that they're buried in the dust is because when we did the Chang hard fork, when Cardano adopted this new chain and the stake pool operators upgraded, and then the major centralized exchanges who run those major stake pools for their delegators on their SECs, they chose to adopt the Chang hard fork version of Cardano. When that happened, the Genesis keys of Cardano were burned, and the community, really the ADA holders, took control of the Cardano blockchain. This is in line with this whole goal we've had in 2024 of bringing governance to crypto in a way that's never really been seen before. Cardano did this when it invoked its new proof of stake model, where really you have liquid staking, no lock staking, do whatever you want. When your ADA is in DeFi, you can still stake it and earn rewards and support stake pools. That's Cardano's first big innovation was in staking. Its second big innovation is now in governance, and it is bringing a new idea of how these crypto projects can do governance in a way that everyone gets a vote, or you can really run a republic or run a democracy on chain in a way where we're voting to use funds, we're voting what to support, we're backing certain projects, we're helping certain people, we're expanding in certain regions, all done based on a constitutional committee, stake pool operators, representatives, delegated representatives, which are basically like politicians, and then the people backing certain versions of those. So you might have seen on Twitter, you might still see on Twitter, people saying Cardano is centralized, it has the Genesis keys. I want to tell you that as of now, those arguments are baseless and they are never to really be dealt with again. The Genesis keys of Cardano is gone. Charles Hoskinson does not have control of the chain, right? The Cardano blockchain is now in hands of the holders like me, like you, like everyone who owns ADA delegated to stake pools. We have the power to decide what we want to do or what we want to fund or how we want to go about building this blockchain further. And we're still going to have founding entities that have good ideas and that we can lean on, but it's up to a vote now. And so in the back half of this year, we're supposed to get the constitution of Cardano, really like the rough draft constitution. And there's supposed to be a big meeting down in Argentina, the first constitutional committee meeting with all the representatives and this massive event for Cardano. And then going into 2025, I would expect the first couple of proposals to go into a vote. And so we can start voting and seeing how we're going to use the treasury funds or what we're going to fund or how we're going to innovate on the Cardano blockchain. In 2025, I think I would like to see input endorsers get started and kind of do things to build up speed, because as we check off this decentralization box, people are going to bring up the next thing about why Cardano is terrible, and it's going to be speed. So we're going to need to bring in speed and scalability next year. The last two things I want to say is that over 2021 and even now, Cardano, as far as EDI metrics go, which is the Edinburgh Decentralization Index, Cardano is leading Nakamoto coefficient. It's got a Nakamoto coefficient of about 58 right now, and I think that will only go up in time as we get more stake pools, more distribution of ADA, more votes happening, right, and more ability for everyone to have a say on Cardano. Who wants to have a say? Cardano is leading all of these decentralized metrics, and it is sitting on top of the pillars of decentralization and security. The second thing I want to say is that I'm really proud of the Cardano community for getting this hard fork through and moving into our governance era, continuing to build in kind of an asymmetrical way to the rest of the crypto industry. I think this, while it might not have like massive price changes today, while the Chang Hardfork might not totally radically change everyone's view of Cardano today or change the price today, I think as we move into 2025, people will come back into crypto. Investors will kind of start to flood the ecosystems again. And I think as we move into 2025 and through 2025, more people will recognize what Cardano is doing and how it's valuable compared to a lot of other chains, right? I think we need an Ethereum, we need a Solana, we need a BNB, we need an AVAX, we need those, but we also need a Bitcoin, we also need a Cardano, we also need an Ergo, right? We also need these chains that are doing things in a totally radically opposite way and innovating in the space and saying, okay, these chains do it this way, let's do it this way, and kind of put academia first, put principles first, put the first ideas first, put governance and foundings and foundations first. And so that really excites me. I think in 2025, people will come back to be interested in those things. Crypto really rolls through cycles. We get meme coin cycles, we get speed cycles, we get decentralization cycles and security and scalability. It's so weird how people act based on, media and hype and FOMO and all these things, but I think there's always value in what Cardano is doing, even if, ADA goes to zero or whatever, which I don't think it happens. I think next year Cardano goes to $3, $5, $7, something like that. But Cardano is always valuable because of what it's providing to the crypto ecosystem, to users, to the possibility of what's in the future, right? And so people out in like third world countries who are using crypto to fight inflation or to help themselves, right, and use financial blockchains and have access to resources that they don't have in their native countries, I think what Cardano is building is very valuable to them, a decentralized blockchain that's highly secure and has this government ability. So very proud of what Cardano is doing, very excited to see what 2025 has and how these proposals start coming through. I think we'll have to be careful of what we vote in as ADA holders, as voters, right? It's like you vote on an election in America and it kind of decides the next 4 years for you, right? And so I think in Cardano, we're going to have to take very, very good action and good measure to have solid votes on some of these proposals and kind of protect the treasury and do the right things with the money and have very, very open and honest discussions about it. So I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited to destroy these ideas that Cardano is centralized, because it never has been. and from now on, it never will be. And so decentralization, security, Cardano's dominating those things. I'm excited for 2025 for Cardano to dominate scalability and speed with input endorsers. And I want to make more videos on how Cardano is actually solving the blockchain trilemma. So we'll have some of those come out soon. But really happy with Cardano and the Chang Hardfork. Very good. Congratulations to all the developers behind all that and all the stake pool operators behind the acceptance of the new chain. So that's what Cardano is doing. That's how decentralization is working in Cardano. If you've been watching the channel for a while, I've been teasing some free courses. Down in the description, we have a new free course on some of the problems that I see a lot of people go through in crypto. Because of this channel, people talk to me quite a bit. They leave comments, they send me DMs on Twitter. And one of the things people have told me that they struggle with a lot is stress or emotions or fear or anxiety in investing, right? Investing in crypto. There's a lot of questions like, when is it going to go up? When is it going to do this? When is crypto going to, why is it moving sideways? Why is Cardano falling behind? Why? So I get these questions a lot, and a lot of them are from an emotional standpoint. I think over the last year or two, I've done very well at controlling my emotions in investing. So in the description, we have a new course called Mind Over Market, Stress Hinders Profit. If you're interested in learning how your emotions can be kind of hindering you in investing and how you can build an investment plan, figure out the root cause of your stress, and kind of build this goal system and this healthy mind framework to be a better investor. Check that free course down in the description out. It's totally free, and I think it provides a lot of value for a lot of people, especially new investors in the space. All right, so if you're interested in that, down in the description. Other than that, hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you in the next one.